Today I give you guys a very long overdue video, my 5 top nuggets of advice for a new runner. Over the last few months, I've gotten to work with a lot of beginners. I work with all kinds of athletes, but lately it's been a lot of beginners, which I absolutely love. I feel privileged to be the person guiding them through the beginning. So what we've done is talked a lot. I've gotten a lot of feedback from them about what they think has helped the most, and I've of course done my own research, both with my own running and with them, to give you guys the things that will help starting right now. Let's jump into tip 1. I'm not even going to beat around the bush, guys. The very first tip here is very practical. You can apply this today. It's going to absolutely make running feel easier. You are likely one of 2 camps. You're either reaching out in front of you when you run, or you're pushing off a lot on your back foot. I'm going to teach you how to bring it all in so your feet are right under you, saving you a lot of energy when you run. All right, guys, we know how much runners love to run, and we really know how much they love to run fast. But if your focus is your speed in the beginning, it is an absolute downfall every single time. What I want to tell you guys is the way that you're running in order to achieve speed or looking like a runner is killing your stamina really early on. So as I mentioned, you step out and or push off this back foot here, and in that combination, you're doing a ton of work each and every step. Taking a couple thousand steps in a run, even a short run, is going to absolutely kill you. And that's why you're getting so tired and overworked. You might be dealing with shin splints, calf cramps, maybe calf strains, all that stuff's going on because your body can't match what you're trying to do, right? There is a lot of effort that goes into running that way because, as we know, speed is the length of our step and how fast we're taking those steps. So in theory, it makes sense. Yes, we'll go faster if we take really big steps and go as hard as we can with a lot of force and push off. Our body's not ready for it yet. We haven't put it under load for that long, and we actually don't know if we have the strength or mobility in our lower legs yet to make up for what we need it to do. So here's what I'm going to teach you guys today: how to pull your feet up right under the hips in a really efficient way that's going to save you a ton of energy. You won't be as out of breath, and you're going to be able to speed that mode of motion up without getting hurt. So this is going to be a lot safer on the lower legs, a lot safer on the calves and the shins, and you're just going to feel like you can breathe a little bit easier. And then when you want to take that up to a higher speed, you can last that long with the stamina. So here's what I want you guys to do. Standing in place, you can watch along now, you can do it later, whatever. Standing right here, you're just going to bring your leg up, knee up, and heel to butt at the same time. So right between a high knee and a butt kick, right? We're going to come right up the middle, little figure 4 here, like a little march in place. If you're doing this right and you're pushing the hips forward, you're going to feel your hamstring work. I am flexing the foot a little bit, but I actually want to relax it. So let's try to relax that foot as we bring it up. So you want to feel that hamstring, and you want to feel the abs engage a little bit to bring that knee up. Good. Let's try with the other side. Just bringing it right up the middle, using our hamstring, driving that knee up. Good, perfect. Back to the other side. Let's try to go both now. Good. So what we notice here is when we land, we're right under our hips. Strong hips, right? We've got our glutes, quads, everything working for us. Whereas when we're reaching out here, we're really depending on that shin, on that ankle, on the calf to give us the mode and the force here. Whereas here, we're right under the hips using our biggest, strongest muscles. We can do this all day. So let's start to make it a little bit smaller here. And you see I'm just shifting weight side to side. And I can even make this a little bit faster. I really now want to focus on that relaxed ankle as I come down. So the middle of the foot is hitting the ground. Right down the middle here. Just like that. Good. Not staying up on the toes and not reaching with the heels, right? So I'm right down the middle. Now let's take it to a little jog. Kind of just using the same thing I just said, just kind of slowly applying, shifting weight, nothing too crazy, almost feels like a lazy marathon shuffle in place here. Really trying to land with the middle of the foot, and then a nice loose arm swing. All right, guys, so this is how I want you to run. It is really not that complicated. A good way to practice this is on your next run. 1, just think of shortening the steps to begin with. Lead with the hips and shorten the steps. Don't think of pushing off and reaching out, right? The second thing you can do is, I would say, maybe you're on a 2-minute run, 1-minute walk system, or reverse that, 1-minute run, 2-minute walk system. During your run, maybe every 2 run sections, I want you guys to take 10 seconds of that nice high pull position into 10 seconds of that small position, and then continue to run normally. You don't have to do this every time you run. I just want it every so often throughout the workout that you're practicing that exaggerated pickup, loose ankles, that mini, and then letting it apply to your run. Let all that stuff sink in, soak into your body. I promise it's going to make a big difference. Don't overwhelm yourself so that every run you're going out there thinking about that, but start to practice now, and you are going to feel a big difference. Tip number 2 is that running is and should be uncomfortable, but it will not last forever. It is what you do in the moments of discomfort in the beginning that get you through to the other side. What I'm going to give you now is 3 really practical tips to get through this time period the quickest and the easiest. Number 1 being, of course, the form tip we talked about. How you run each and every time you go out is going to be key in making it suck less, because it's going to require less of your body, thus giving you more time to adapt and get used to it. Number 2, I have this 5-second rule. This helps me mentally get past the moments of discomfort, knowing I'm gonna survive even though I don't like how I feel. So basically what you're gonna do is when things get rough, so say that quad is screaming, it is so uncomfortable, burning so much, you wanna stop, you wanna quit. In that moment, I want you guys to count to 5 slowly before stopping. So you're allowed to stop as you normally would. All right, I'm gonna give up. I don't wanna say give up, but I'm gonna stop. But before I do that, I'm counting to 5. In that run, I'm going to still run through the 5 seconds, then I will slow it down to that walk or stop completely. The other thing you guys are going to do is work on efficient breathing from the beginning. And I don't want you to have to do this during the run because it's a lot of work, a lot of things to think about. During your walk breaks, I want you guys to practice nose-only breaths. So big inhale through the nose, mouth is closed during that, and then exhale normal. One more, big inhale. Exhale normal. When you do these nose breaths, I want you guys to count to at least 2 going in. What you're going to notice is it slows down the heart rate immediately, gets that breath all the way into the diaphragm, working for you and your body a lot more efficiently. So yes, things are going to hurt, but there are ways to combat it and make you kind of train yourself to get through it anyway. The biggest thing people don't like in the beginning of running is that, oh my God, my body's doing something. It's telling me everything's wrong, right? All the flares are going up. I'm in pain. My leg feels like it's breaking. What's injury? What's soreness? I don't really know the difference. I'm telling you right now, it's supposed to hurt because it's different. You haven't done this type of thing before. It's a new physical activity. But here are some ways to combat it. So we've got that form, we've got the breathing, we've got the 5-second rule. The last piece of this is taking care of the body you are asking to work for you, right? I'm going out, I'm doing all this new physical activity. I don't just get to hop in my bed every night and wake up and do it again, right? I am putting my body through new things. I'm needing to take care of it as such, responding to what it's doing. This can be as simple as a 2-minute foam rolling session. So easy, even just 3 times a week. What I keep finding with my new people, they come in, they tell me, hey, running is not for me. My knee is messed up. Like, okay, did you fall? Did you twist your knee skiing? Did you get hit by a car? Like, what exactly happened to tell you that the knee is messed up? No, it just really hurts. It hurt mid-run 2 days in a row now. So clearly my body is not cut out to do this. I see this a lot with people who are overweight too. People say like, I don't have the body type for this. Here's what I want to tell all of you guys. You cannot expect your body to do things if you're not going to then prime it back to the way that it was to get you back to full capacity to then run again, right? So when we run, we're contracting those muscles the same way we do bicep curls, something like that. When we stretch and restore the health of that muscle tissue, we give it the opportunity to then give it our full effort again. But we can't expect to go push and run at the same effort level every day if we're not going to get it back to that spot of recovered and ready to go. So what I want you guys to do is 2 minutes foam rolling. So easy, so many ideas on my channel. I've covered a lot of stuff there. There's also tons of other stuff on YouTube. At the very least, your adductors, so your inner thighs and your quads. And I want you guys to get your calves. So you can mix up when you do these things, but all of that is really going to be prominent in the beginning, and you want to make sure the heels are kissing the ground when you land. You're giving your quads that space, that length to land and contract without feeling too short and tight so it doesn't pull on the knee. Lastly, I can't even tell you how many times I've just worked on their knee, self-massage, or me massaging them for 1 minute just around the knee, and they stand up and the knee pain's completely gone. So you've got to take care of your body. This is part of it. This is part of getting into this and for longevity and long term. You will get over this hump It will not be uncomfortable forever. Really, this can happen very quickly that you get over it, and then you're into running mode, and you don't have to think about a lot of this stuff. It becomes second nature. So I promise you guys, this is all very normal, but don't get in your head and don't come up with all the excuses. Just do things that are gonna help right off the bat, and you will get through this a lot quicker. Tip number 3 is one of my favorites. I tell this to all my new clients. Guys, you are not allowed to qualify anything in the first month. Nothing. You don't get to describe how you're doing. You don't get to talk about how fast you're running, how you did next to this person, how you're fitting in your clothes, your weight, none of it. I want you guys to put a full 4 weeks in of work, full 4 weeks of work without thinking about how it's stacking up next to how maybe you thought it would stack up. You need to be 100% in what you're doing, in the present process. This is a very, very hard thing to do, but I promise it saves you from burying yourself in negative thought. When you do all of the qualifying and numbers and you're thinking about, oh, today the run was really good, that sets you up for maybe tomorrow being a little bit worse, but then in your head it feels way worse because today was good, right? So the ups and downs of everything make it all very dramatic. You add other people into this, so if you're online, you're comparing, this person started when I did, but they ran farther than me. It is just an absolute mess, and it really gets in your way. All this stuff gets in your way of the progress. Again, we're looking to mainly get over that hump of the discomfort, of the newness of it all, getting you to the other side feeling confident as a runner. You're already a runner now, I promise you that, but I know you're not gonna call yourself one until you hit a certain distance or speed or whatever. I know how it works. So I'm gonna tell you right now, no qualifications, no descriptions, no stacking up what you thought versus what it is. None of that in the beginning. Just put your shoes on, do the work, do what I've told you, do what other people have told you. Keep moving forward, 1 foot at a time, 1 run at a time, 1 day at a time. And in 30 days, then you can start to decide how is it going. Tip number 4 is one that I actually like to apply to life as well. Ed Milet says that self-confidence comes from following through on what you said you were gonna do. This is really important in your running journey. I want you guys to only be doing things that you think you can probably get through, at least relatively. Maybe you fall off in the last 5 to 10 minutes or something like that, but generally you're going out to do things you know you can do. This comes down to your run-walk strategy. If you don't go in with one, you just go and run as far as you can until you have to walk and keep going with that. What you end up leaving yourself with is disappointment, feeling like you don't really have control over what you're doing, and you're just basically going off on a prayer every single day. Maybe I'll be able to breathe a little bit easier today, maybe it'll feel a little easier today, maybe I can run farther, whatever it is. Rather than you go out, I'm gonna do a 2-minute walk, 1-minute run strategy, or 30-second jog, 3-minute walk strategy, whatever you need. It might just be a 20-minute walk, something you're pretty certain you can do for several different rounds in a row. I say start with a 20-minute workout and build from there, but even smaller sometimes, depending on if you're losing a lot of weight in the beginning of this process. Go in with a plan. When you're in the driver's seat, you're gonna feel in control. You're gonna build confidence from the fact that you said you were gonna go do a 20-minute walk run and you came back and you can check off that you did it. Versus nebulous, I'm gonna go out for an hour and try to run as much of it as I can. That doesn't feel very good when 30 minutes in, you're absolutely huffing and puffing because you pushed it too hard. You're hobbling back to your car, and the memory you're left with is, I'm never gonna do this again. I am not cut out for running. So once again, guys, confidence comes from doing what you said you were gonna do, and I need you to do that for at least the first few weeks. Really going out with a plan. It doesn't have to be complicated. I have lots of ideas on my channel. My Patreon is great for workouts like this if you're just getting into it, but if you are not there yet, go in with a really simple walk, run, really small run sections, really long walk sections, and then start to shrink the walks, build up the runs. Stay slow, use that form tip, the breathing, all that stuff, of course, in combination, but go in with a plan. All right, we top things off with one more very practical tip that I swear will make your running feel easier this week. I want you guys to combine some movements that are strength, HIIT, cardio related with your running that are not running. This is gonna make running feel easier by comparison. When you do this, you make your heart rate, your breathing, your mental stamina work for you in a more cohesive way to where you learn your body a bit faster, rather than just associating pain and effort and pushing yourself with running alone. So here's a good example of a workout I would suggest. Maybe 4 rounds of this, you're gonna go for a 1-minute jog, maybe 30 seconds out, 30 seconds back, you get back. I want you guys to just go for 10 nice slow air squats. Remember, our hips go back, our knees go wide, chest stays up, right? And then we finish things off with a 20-second plank on the ground. We can even do it on an elevated surface. maybe on a bench to make it a bit easier. Then we rest about 2 minutes. We go out for that jog again, we come back, we hit those air squats, plank, etc., rest. Really nice way to make the running start to feel like kind of a little flush out jog, like a recovery jog, when normally you would see it as the whole point, right? The run, the tough spot. When we add things in that are a little bit different, maybe a little bit more difficult on the legs, just strength-wise or something, they're slower so we can breathe through them, but they are difficult in their own way. By running, comparison, it just feels a little bit easier on the legs. Wow, we're not having to drop all the way into the bottom of a squat or hold that plank and engage the core. We just have to engage the core a little bit for the run. That really, really works. And it also helps keep your heart rate spiking a little bit to just make your overall aerobic base higher, which makes running easier. We can go for longer, be stronger, etc. The other thing you can do, guys, you can add in burpees, you can add in push-ups, maybe some glute bridge raises, some sit-ups, tons and tons of things you can do. Keep it really small though, really just a few rounds, only working for maybe 20 minutes to start, and put this in once a week. You can keep your run walk schedule as is, but maybe add this in as a separate activity, and it really, really will dial things up for you and make you feel more in control of your fitness and building it up. I want to thank you guys for watching this video today, following along with those tips. Please get back to me. Let me know how it went for you, or if you're able to pass it on to somebody who needs it, let me know how it went for them. Love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.